When someone wants to be rich and shouts out, "I want to be rich," sure, you can say that, but actually making it happen isn't easy. In fact, it's pretty hard. I have another way to shout out that you want to be rich, one that will make your journey to success a bit easier. Try shouting just as loudly, but add a little more detail and make it a bit longer, like this. I want to be rich. I want to have 120,000 baht in my savings account within the next 12 months. Doing it this way makes it so much easier. If you want to be rich, just specify exactly how much and by when. It's like you've already made it halfway to success, because from there, you can clearly map out your path and your how-to steps. It doesn't seem so hard, and it actually feels much more achievable. So in this video, we're going to talk about one of the key factors in building wealth, which is time. Because believe it or not, having a clear time frame and a specific deadline, it actually serves as a powerful representation of the overall strength of your personal finances. We would like to welcome you to this brand new episode of Money Monster Literacy, which is part of the Little Demon Treasure Hunt series, now on episode 4, where we will be diving deep into the topic of time, the potential of wealth. We invite you to try following along with us today. See how you can hunt for treasure with the little demon. Let's review the equation of wealth first. The wealth equation that I've always believed in is wealth equals money plus time plus discipline plus the right method. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the topic of time, because when you just say you want to be rich, if you leave it vague, it's hard to succeed. But if you specify exactly when, it will make things clear. If you can pinpoint when, it will show you exactly how you can achieve it. What is the method, and what kind of goals should you set? Like I mentioned earlier, if you just say you want to be rich, it sounds a bit vague and it's hard to achieve. But if you specify that you want to be richer by saving an extra 120,000 baht in your account within the next 12 months, then you can break it down. For example, that's 10,000 baht per month for 12 months. So you need to know first, okay, I make this much income and I want to save 10,000 baht a month. That makes it much easier. Just set aside the 10,000 first, and then you don't have to do anything else. The rest you can spend and divide into different categories. I'll have another video to teach you how to allocate the money you earn. Or if someone says, hey, but the way I live right now, if I have to set aside 10,000 baht, I definitely won't have enough to live on. Then list out all your expenses. Are there any monthly subscriptions you can cancel? Or check if there are things you buy or use that you could do without. Can you not buy them? Can you buy less? Or can you buy the same thing but for a cheaper price? Basically, trim down your fixed costs so that you can have 10,000 baht left over each month. Or if someone says, hey, my income doesn't reach that amount, then there are two options. You can either adjust your goal to be a bit smaller, maybe save just 8,000 or 5,000 a month, or even 3,000 a month is still good, as long as you save something. Or you can decide to really focus on finding a new job. You might need to go and develop new skills so you can get a new job that allows you to save 10,000 baht. See, there's a how-to right there. So whenever you want something, there are 3 things you need to do. First, set a clear goal. Second, specify the amount of money. Third, set a clear time frame. You need to know when you want to have that amount of money, and you also need to know if you really need to use that lump sum. So in this series, we'll be doing workshops and exercises together as we go along. And before we dive into questions like where we should invest, gold, bitcoins, stocks, bonds, or whatever, don't even think about that yet. Give me 5 minutes. You can go download the spreadsheet I've prepared for you. I'll put the link in the caption for you to download from Bandon. Or just grab a piece of paper, everyone, or download the spreadsheet. Either way works. Now start writing. Write down all the life goals you want to have. Write everything. Don't overthink it. Just write as quickly as you can, whatever comes pouring out. Don't worry about whether it's possible or not, or how much money it would take. Just write down whatever you want. If you want a mansion, if you want this or that, if you want to travel somewhere, write it all down. But please write 1 goal per line. 1 per line. Just go down the list. Whatever your wildest dreams are, write them all. When I was a kid, I even dreamed of growing up to be a mermaid. Yeah, do it. Don't just not do it. Even if you're not sure whether you can achieve the goal you want, just write it down first. Don't let anything stop you, except maybe pausing this clip for a moment to go write it all down. So, are you done? Once you're finished writing, now you have your goals. Remember, write one per line, and next to each goal, write down when you want to achieve it. You can set the year, either in the Buddhist calendar or the regular calendar, or just write the number of years you want it to happen in. You can also just write something like next month, but you have to consider whether the goal is big or not. Maybe a year is reasonable, but you have to see if it's too much. But I want you to write it out. For example, if you want to have a house, maybe set it for 10 years, 5 years, or 20 years. Just write it down. What I'm telling you to do is to write your life goals along with when you want to achieve them. It might sound like a small step, but believe me, this is the foundation of your journey toward your goals, because being able to specify your goals, and if you can specify the time frame, it will help you figure out how you can achieve it. And let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with having big dreams. But if your dream is big, you need to give it enough time. Because when it comes to managing your finances, the longer the time frame, the more powerful your money becomes. Where does that power come from? Compound interest. Take a look at this, the asset graph of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett started investing when he was just 10 years old. He started when he was 10 years old. And if you look at the graph, you'll see it grew steadily until nearly all of Warren Buffett's wealth came after he turned 60. He invested from age 11 to 60, showing the true power of compound interest, which made him one of the world's richest people. Financial data from over a century points to the same thing. The longer your investment time frame, the more powerful your money becomes, and your risk of loss drops significantly. You might not lose anything if you invest long enough, but a disclaimer, you won't lose money over time, but you must invest correctly. You can't put money anywhere and expect the same result. This week, let's use the S&P 500 as an example. Zooming in on the graph, like just the past month, when political moves were unpredictable, opening and closing things, the market was a sea of red and super volatile. A lot, right? But if we ignore the daily news and situations like that, and instead zoom out to look at the S&P 500 chart as a whole, we'll see that it keeps going up over time. It just keeps growing. That's why, over the past 100 years, the S&P 500 has had an average annual return of about 10%. That means some years it's higher and some years it's negative. So I brought this chart to show you. This is the S&P 500's return chart. From 1928 to 2024, this chart shows how investing for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years makes a difference. Let's start here. See this first bar? If you invest for 1 year, you have a 52% chance of making a profit, but there's a 43% chance you'll lose money. If you invest for 3 years, your chance of profit is 30% and your chance of loss is 27%. But if you invest for 5 years, you have a 28% chance of profit and a 12% chance of loss. But let's go even further. If invest for 20 years, you have a 17% chance of making a profit, and there's no chance of a loss. This is talking about the S&P 500. This means the longer you invest, the lower your chance of losing money. But if you invest for a short period, yes, you have a high chance of making a profit, but you also have a high chance of losing money. Can you handle that risk? Honestly, I've been through that kind of risk, and I'm not interested anymore. So, over the past 100 years, anyone who invested in the S&P, wow, if you hold for more than 20 years, not a single person has lost money, because in every 20-year period of the S&P 500, the returns have always been positive. But it's not every single 20-year period, though. For example, the weakest period for the S&P 500 was when, if you held for 20 years, the return was only about 4%. That's possible. Or even worse than 4%. That's happened too. Like people who started investing in 1928 and held until... So in 1948, those who invested got a return from the S&P 500 of only 2.86%. Bad luck does happen, but at least it wasn't negative. The reason I'm giving examples of investment periods in the S&P 500 is because it really applies to real life. Let me give you a concrete example of a 20-year investment. For instance, let's say you decide to invest in the S&P 500 and you figure, your luck. Isn't that great? So you get the S&P 500 at the minimum average return, let's say 4%. but not as unlucky as getting just 2%. Suppose you invest 1 million baht in the S&P 500 and get an average return of 4% per year. You leave the money there for 20 years. That 1 million baht would become about 2,190,000 baht, or a profit of about 1.2 million. Hey, that's not bad at all. But let's say you get into the S&P 500 during a better period where the average return is 8%. If you invest 1 million baht for another 20 years and the average return is 8% per year, you'd end up with about 4,600,000 baht. But if you get into the S&P 500 and wow, it's like you were born for this, everything's going great, and you invest during a period where the average return is 10% per year, something like that, if you invest 1 million baht for another 20 years, the final amount you'd get would be about 6,700,000 baht. That's almost 7 times your original investment. So is this what you call passive? I guess so. It's basically letting your money work for you and letting the market do what it's always done, over and over. So your money works for you, and you can reach your goals more easily with less effort on your part. Just keeping your money in the bank or burying it in a jar in your backyard where it could get eaten by termites, don't do that. Personally, my technique for saving money is to make everything as simple as possible, so I don't have to touch it much. For example, if I know roughly when my money comes in, I'll set up a DCA, dollar cost averaging, so that a certain amount goes into this portfolio and another amount goes into that portfolio and so on. There are even some apps that can do this. There are even some apps where you can set it up so that dividends are automatically reinvested into your portfolio. That's what I do. I have to say, finding ways to make things easy for yourself is actually a key strategy for staying disciplined with your investments. And if anyone wants to play around and calculate, like if you want to put in a certain amount as your principal, invest it in the market for a certain number of years, and estimate a certain return, how much money will you end up with? You can use a spreadsheet for that. Download it to play with your own numbers. What if you don't have 20 years, like Sai suggested? Saving for 20 years isn't for everyone. You want to use it sooner, right? Let's use 10 years as an example. Back to the chart to see how much you'd need to invest, your profit chances, or your risk of losing money. If you invest for 10 years, see, there's a 20% chance of profit and a 1.67% chance of losing money. That's a really low risk. Hopefully, I'm not in that 1.67%. So if you ask me, 10 years is just way too long. I really can't do it. Let's try looking at just 1 year instead. If we look at this S&P 500 chart, a 1-year investment gives you a 52% chance of profit, but there is also a 43% chance of losing money. In the short term, returns are totally unpredictable and very volatile. With nearly half of all investors potentially facing losses, can you really handle that? So honestly, I would not recommend it as a good idea at all. Money that we'll need to use within the next 5 years, don't invest too much of it because the risk of loss is just too high. I get it. Investing always comes with risk. But if you know you don't have to take that risk, then why would you? Save your money if you can. But I'm not saying that every goal in life has to be set for 20 years. That's too much. There are ways to break it down, to figure out which goals should have what kind of time frame. I've already divided it up for you, and there are 3 time periods. Short, medium, and long term. The short term here means investing for about 5 years. So goals you want to achieve within 5 years. For example, your dream vacation, like wanting to see the northern lights. I'm saving up for that too. I want to go dog sledding. What do you call it? Sled dogs? Yeah, I want to take my kid and have us both scream with excitement, like, wow. Or saving up for a down payment on a house, things like that, all within 5 years. And the down payment is important. There'll be another video where I talk about that. About the down payment, how much should we put down so that we can save the most on interest in a way that's really optimal? And as for houses and cars, if you're not ready, don't buy them because they'll become commitments that tie you down, making you afraid to make any moves. Even if you end up in a job you don't like, you won't dare to quit. That's something I've heard directly from friends' experiences. Or for short-term goals, there's the emergency fund. But don't put your emergency fund into your investment portfolio, okay? Now, for the medium term is between 5 to 15 years. For example, if you want to expand your office or have money to grow your business, you plan for that. Or if you want to pay for your child's university tuition, you start planning from when your child is very young. You figure out, okay, in 15 years from now, when they go to university, you'll need a lump sum of about this much. So you can calculate in advance how much principal you need to put in and over what period, how much you need to invest, what the average return rate should be so you'll have enough for your child's university. You can get a rough idea of how to plan. I have to say, the medium term is actually a healthy period because over 15 years, the chances of success are higher. Inflation is high, and so is the volatility in the market. But after 15 years, if it's a good company, it will have grown, and it's harder for it to lose money. So the medium term, meaning the 5 to 15-year period, and the strength of your money in the future, doesn't that sound good? Are you starting to feel more motivated? As for long-term goals, those are goals that are more than 15 years away. What are those? It's about setting goals for your life after retirement. That's right, life after retirement. We need to plan for it so we can buy ourselves a quality life in our old age. Let me tell you, when it comes to time frames, if it's more than 15 years, that means you have enough time and space for your money to grow naturally without you having to interfere or do anything at all. Parentheses, as long as you do it right. And when the period is over 15 years, that's when compound interest really starts to multiply and becomes a truly powerful force. At this point, you can start to see that if you just know how to manage your money, put it in the right place, and the calculations aren't too difficult, it's your chance to grow your money and have the opportunity to hold millions in your hands. On the day when you should have it. That means on the flip side, if you choose to take no action and don't manage your money, it's like you're essentially tossing away the chance to have millions of dollars in your hands on the day you should have it. It just slips away, right? What a waste, huh? If you don't do anything, okay, up to this point, you might say, you told me to write it down, to make a portfolio, but I haven't done it. I'm eating, I'm driving, I'm showering. Just give me a moment. Yeah, sure, you can wait. I can wait as long as you want. But can your life wait? How long do you want to keep putting it off? Do you want to start today, next year, 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, and then regret it later? Why didn't I just start back then? Why do I have to sit here listening to someone brag, saying, I have so much money, I can spend as much as I want, while I spend until I'm broke? Just kidding. But seriously, if you want to be motivated, if you have money but don't manage it, whether it's a little or a lot, you'll never have a lot. And if you have a lot and don't manage it, that money will just run away from you. Listen, I really want everyone to just do it. Manage your money, because finances, it's the fundamental foundation of your quality of life, not just for yourself, but also for the people you care about most in the long run. And let me tell you, managing your money is actually much simpler than you might think. I'm going to create a comprehensive video series all about it. Money Monster Literacy, Treasure Hunt with a little monster. Let's join hands and do it together. Okay? If you really enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and share it. Thank you so much.